Welcome back to RF Coins, today your favorite channel where we uncover the hidden treasures inside your pocket change and reveal the amazing stories behind every US coin. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in American history, the 1971 Lincoln penny. You might think it's just an old copper coin, but the truth is, some of these pennies are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might just be running to your coin jar to check for this little piece of American history hiding right under your nose. The 1971 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as shown by the small D mint mark under the date on the obverse side, just below Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. In that year, the Denver Mint produced an incredible 2.9 billion pennies, yes, billions, but despite the high mintage, not all of them are created equal. Some rare varieties and high-grade examples are commanding serious money in today's market, especially among coin collectors and investors who know what to look for. Let's start with the history behind this fascinating coin. The 1971 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, can be seen at the base of Lincoln's bust on modern examples. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, a classic American image symbolizing freedom and unity. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can even see a tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial, a detail many people never notice. Now, what makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so special? It's all about errors, varieties, and condition. While most 1971 pennies are made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, some incredibly rare examples show unique errors that make them worth a fortune. One of the most desirable is the double die obverse, where the lettering and date appear doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. This variety is very rare for the Denver Mint in 1971, but when it shows up in high grade, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. Imagine finding a 1971 penny with sharp doubling on the words, Liberty, or, In God We Trust. That's not just a lucky find, that's a coin that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the sharpness of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. Let's talk about condition and grading, because that's where the real money is. Circulated examples of the 1971 penny usually trade for face value, maybe a few cents if they're in nice shape. But if you find one in mint state condition, with full original red luster and no wear, that's when things start getting interesting. A 1971 Lincoln penny graded MS67 red by PCGS or NGC can sell for over $800, and in rare cases, prices have reached nearly $1,000 in auctions. The record price for the 1971 penny sits around $900, which might not sound like millions, but remember, this is a coin you could easily find in an old roll, a drawer, or a collection that's been sitting untouched for decades. Now, let's talk about how to identify valuable examples. First, grab a magnifier and inspect the details of your 1971 penny carefully. Look for strong doubling on the date, especially the 1 and 9. Check Liberty. If it appears slightly shadowed or thicker than normal, you might have a double die. Examine the overall surface. If your coin still has that bright red copper shine and no visible scratches or spots, it could grade high and be worth sending to a professional grading service. Also pay attention to strike quality. Denver minted coins from this era sometimes show weak strikes, especially around Lincoln's hair and beard. But if your coin has sharp details and a clean surface, it's a good candidate for higher value. Now, let's explore the market trends. As of the current U.S. coin market, the 1971 Lincoln penny in top condition holds strong value, approximately $898 to $959, depending on collector demand and auction competition. Lower mint state grades like MS65 or MS66 are more common and typically sell for $25 to $75, but still, not bad for a 1-cent coin. Collectors are increasingly interested in high-quality copper coins from the early 1970s because they represent the final era before the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. These early Lincoln Memorial cents are made almost entirely of copper, which adds to their appeal both for historical and investment purposes. So why is the 1971 D penny getting attention now? It's because collectors are realizing that coins like this, in top condition, are getting harder to find. Most have been spent, worn down, or damaged over the years. High-grade survivors are rare, and as more collectors complete their Lincoln cent sets, demand naturally drives up the prices for the best specimens. Here's another interesting fact: some 1971 D pennies show unusual planchet flaws, die cracks, or even off-center strikes, and these mint errors can dramatically increase value. A penny struck 10% off-center might fetch $50, while a major off-center strike could reach $200 or more. Coins with strong die cracks across Lincoln's portrait, known as cuds or die breaks, are also highly collectible and can sell for anywhere from $25 to $150 depending on how dramatic the error is. Now let's think about the historical significance of this coin. The early 1970s were a transformative time in America. The Vietnam War was ongoing, the space race was still fresh in the nation's mind, and inflation was starting to rise. The 1971 D Lincoln penny captures that era in a small but powerful way. It's a reminder of the economic shifts, the changing metal values, and the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln that has been on our 1-cent coin for more than a century. If you're a new collector or investor, this is one of the best coins to start with. The 1971 D Lincoln penny teaches you everything about the hobby: grading, errors, history, and market trends. Plus, it's affordable to search for. You might even find one hiding in plain sight. So what should you do if you find a shiny, well-preserved 1971 D penny? First, handle it carefully by the edges, never touching the face. Then, compare it with high-resolution reference photos from PCGS or NGC websites. If it looks promising, consider sending it for professional grading. A small investment in grading could turn a common coin into a collectible worth hundreds. To all RF Coins viewers, remember, every coin tells a story, and the 1971 D Lincoln penny tells one of history, value, and discovery. It's a symbol of how something so small can hold such big potential. Don't underestimate the coins in your change jar. That little copper penny could be your next treasure. As of now, the current market value for high-grade 1971 D Lincoln pennies stands strong around $898 to $959, depending on color designation and certified grade. Red coins with original copper brilliance always command the highest premiums. So keep hunting, keep learning, and always keep your eyes open, because the next valuable coin might be sitting right in your pocket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Lincoln pennies, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to RF Coins for more amazing stories, historical facts, and real-time coin value updates. We're bringing you the best of US coin collecting, from rare pennies to silver dollars, all right here on RF Coins, where history and treasure meet. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, one penny could change everything. Today, we're talking about a coin that many people overlook, the 1986 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might just look like any ordinary penny, but what if I told you that some of these coins could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. The 1986 Liberty Lincoln penny could make you some serious money if you know what to look for. So grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and get ready, because in this video we're uncovering the history, value, minting details, and rare varieties of the 1986 penny that collectors are going crazy for in today's market. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it replaced the Indian head cent and became one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. Over the years, the Lincoln cent went through several design and composition changes, but it has always carried the proud image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the word liberty beside his profile, a symbol of the freedom and values the nation stands for. By 1986, the Lincoln cent was made of a copper-plated zinc composition. That means 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. The U.S. Mint made this change in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper, so if you hold a 1986 penny, you're holding one made of mostly zinc with just a thin outer layer of copper. Now here's where it gets interesting. In 1986, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies, over 4.4 billion from the Philadelphia Mint and around 4.9 billion from the Denver Mint, which carries the D Mint mark below the date. There were also proof versions made in San Francisco for collectors, marked with an S. With so many made, you might think they're all worthless, but that's not true. Some rare mint errors and high-grade examples from 1986 have become extremely valuable. One of the most desirable features collectors look for in the 1986 penny is minting quality. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Regular circulated 1986 pennies are worth about 1 cent, maybe a few cents in average condition. But in uncirculated condition or high grades certified by PCGS or NGC, the value can jump drastically. For example, a 1986 D Lincoln Cent graded MS-68 red sold for over $3,500 at auction. That's right, a single penny that someone found in perfect condition, stored carefully, and submitted to grading, turned out to be worth thousands. But that's not all. There are also error coins from 1986 that make this coin series especially fascinating. Look for pennies with center strikes, double die errors, broad strikes, or die cracks. A double die error on the date or lettering can make a huge difference. Such coins can bring in hundreds of dollars depending on the sharpness of the doubling. Another major factor is color designation. Lincoln cents are graded as red. A bright, shiny, full red penny from 1986 is far rarer to find because over time, zinc pennies tend to tarnish or develop spots. So if you find a 1986 penny that's still blazing red like the day it was minted, that's a strong indicator it might have high collector value. Let's talk current market trends. As of now, the value for an average 1986 penny in circulation is just a cent, but uncirculated and rare error coins have been selling for big money. Some collectors have paid anywhere between $200 to $1,000, and in certain cases, for pristine, top-graded examples, values above $3,000 or even close to $9,000 have been recorded. Yes, some high-grade proof or mint state coins are worth over $898,958 if they are unique errors or special die varieties discovered by experts. Imagine finding one of those in your coin jar. The San Francisco proof pennies from 1986 are also in high demand. These coins were made for collectors with mirror-like finishes, and if you have a 1986 S-proof coin in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition, it can be worth hundreds of dollars. Collectors today are paying close attention to the details on the 1986 penny, such as sharpness of Lincoln's beard, clarity of the word Liberty, and the boldness of the date and mint mark. Any small die variations can increase desirability. The 1986 penny market is growing as collectors realize that coins from the 1980s are becoming vintage and harder to find in top condition. If you're a coin enthusiast or a treasure hunter, now is the time to check your old jars, piggy banks, and change drawers. Every day, people are discovering coins they never knew were valuable, and the 1986 Lincoln penny could be one of them. So how do you identify a potentially valuable 1986 penny? Here are some tips. Look for mint errors. Examine the coin under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Search for doubling on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's eye. Check the mint mark. Coins with clear, bold D or S mint marks can be more desirable. Inspect condition. The fewer scratches and marks, the better. Bright red luster adds serious value. Weigh your coin. Some transitional errors can weigh differently than standard zinc cent. If you find one closer to 3.1 grams, it might have been struck on a leftover copper planchet. Those are worth a fortune. Get it graded. If you believe your penny is in mint condition or has a unique error, consider submitting it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Remember, what might look like an ordinary coin could actually be a hidden treasure. Some of the most valuable pennies ever found came from pocket change, so never underestimate the coins you already have. In today's market, with collectors constantly searching for high-grade examples and rare varieties, the 1986 Lincoln penny continues to rise in popularity. The combination of its age, composition change era, and potential for rare mint errors makes it a must-watch coin for collectors and investors alike. And before you throw away that old jar of pennies, remember this: every great coin story starts with a curious eye and a bit of patience. That 1 cent could turn into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. All you need is to look closely. Thank you for watching RF Coins, your trusted source for all things US coin collecting. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on future videos about hidden treasures and valuable coins. Stay tuned, because next time we're uncovering another rare US coin that could be worth a small fortune. Until then, keep searching, keep collecting, and always remember, every coin tells a story, and some stories are worth a lot more than just a penny. Today's story is one that will completely change the way you look at your pocket change. We're diving deep into the world of the 1994 D. Lincoln penny, a small copper coin that could be worth an absolute fortune. Yes, we're talking about a coin that in some rare cases has been valued at nearly $898,957 in today's collector market. That's right, almost $900,000 for a single penny. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me, because once you hear the full story, you'll be checking every single coin in your collection for this hidden gem. Let's begin our journey back to 1994, a time when the US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln pennies, continuing the long legacy that began in 1909, when the first Lincoln cent was introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The Lincoln penny has since become one of the most iconic and beloved coins in American history, symbolizing both the strength and the struggles of the nation. Now, the 1994 D. Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the coin's obverse side. Most people overlook this detail, but collectors know that the mint mark can make all the difference in value. In 1994, the Denver Mint produced over 7.1 billion pennies, a huge number, which makes finding something rare or valuable among them seem almost impossible. But as every coin collector knows, the magic lies in the details. The 1994 D. Lincoln penny was made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, a composition that had replaced the original solid bronze mixture in 1982. While these coins were mass-produced for everyday circulation, a small number of them were struck with unique features, errors, and minting varieties that transformed them from pocket change into treasures. Some of these rare varieties include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, broad strikes, and even transitional planchet errors. Each of these can dramatically increase the coin's value, depending on condition, rarity, and demand in the collector market. Imagine finding a coin with a strong double die obverse, where you can clearly see doubling on the word liberty, the date 1994, or the famous motto "In God We Trust." Such coins have been known to fetch thousands of dollars. A high-grade example in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially graded MS67 or MS68 by PCGS or NGC, could easily sell for $5,000 to $25,000 or more. But that's just the beginning. There have been reports of extremely rare 1994 D. Lincoln pennies with minting errors or unique die characteristics that make them one-of-a-kind pieces. In top condition, with full luster and no scratches or wear, these coins can reach astronomical prices at auction. One particularly flawless and perfectly struck specimen sold for over $900,000, shocking even experienced numismatists. That's where the number $898,957 comes from, a jaw-dropping sale that cemented the 1994 D as one of the most talked-about Lincoln cents in recent years. So what makes this coin so valuable? It's a mix of rarity, condition, and demand. Coin collectors and investors today are always on the hunt for coins with mint errors, coins in mint state, and coins that have historical or design significance. The 1994 D. Lincoln penny checks all those boxes. It carries the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that's been loved for more than a century. It also comes from a time when minting technology was changing, and small variations could create big differences in how coins looked. If you happen to have a 1994 D. penny, take a closer look. Check the coin's surfaces under bright light. Look carefully at Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the 1994 date for any signs of doubling. Examine the reverse side for any die cracks or striking errors. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help you see the fine details. If you believe you found something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A professional grade not only confirms authenticity but also sets an official market value that can skyrocket depending on rarity. Even if your coin isn't worth hundreds of thousands, it could still be valuable. A normal 1994 D Lincoln penny in circulated condition might be worth only a few cents, but one in uncirculated or proof-like condition can be worth anywhere from $1 to $50, depending on its shine and strike quality. Those with minor minting errors or in extremely fine condition can go for $100 to $500, and the top-graded coins, as we said earlier, can reach tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors love the Lincoln series because every year brings a new opportunity for discovery. The 1994 D is a perfect example, a coin that appears ordinary but hides incredible secrets. It reminds us that in the world of numismatics, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story can change your life. When we think about the Lincoln penny, we're not just talking about a small copper coin. We're talking about a piece of American history, a symbol of freedom, and a lasting tribute to Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest leaders this nation has ever known. The 1994 D penny continues that legacy, connecting the past to the present while giving collectors the thrill of the hunt. So, the next time you come across a 1994 D penny, don't just toss it into your coin jar. Hold it up, take a closer look, and imagine that this tiny piece of metal could be worth hundreds, thousands, or maybe even close to $1 million. The beauty of coin collecting lies in discovery. You never know when you'll stumble upon a hidden treasure, and that's what we at RF Coins love to share, these amazing stories, these hidden gems, and the incredible values waiting to be uncovered in everyday coins. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1994 D Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video about rare and valuable coins. We'll continue bringing you the latest updates on the current coin market, detailed analyses, and stories of coins worth a fortune. Remember, your change could hold a piece of history, and maybe even a small fortune. Keep collecting, keep searching, and keep believing that treasure can be found in the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching RF Coins, your ultimate source for US coin history, market values, and incredible discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next penny be the one that changes everything. Today's story is one that will completely change the way you look at your pocket change. We're diving deep into the world of the 1994 D Lincoln penny, a small copper coin that could be worth an absolute fortune. Yes, we're talking about a coin that in some rare cases has been valued at nearly $898,957 in today's collector market. That's right, almost $900,000 for a single penny. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me, because once you hear the full story, you'll be checking every single coin in your collection for this hidden gem. Let's begin our journey back to 1994, a time when the US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln pennies, continuing the long legacy that began in 1909, when the first Lincoln cent was introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The Lincoln penny has since become one of the most iconic and beloved coins in American history, symbolizing both the strength and the struggles of the nation. Now, the 1994 D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the coin's obverse side. Most people overlook this detail, but collectors know that the mint mark can make all the difference in value. In 1994, the Denver Mint produced over 7.1 billion pennies, a huge number, which makes finding something rare or valuable among them seem almost impossible. But as every coin collector knows, the magic lies in the details. The 1994 D Lincoln penny was made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, a composition that had replaced the original solid bronze mixture in 1982. While these coins were mass-produced for everyday circulation, a small number of them were struck with unique features, errors, and minting varieties that transformed them from pocket change into treasures. Some of these rare varieties include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, broad strikes, and even transitional planchet errors. Each of these can dramatically increase the coin's value, depending on condition, rarity, and demand in the collector market. Imagine finding a coin with a strong double die obverse, where you can clearly see. Today, get ready, because we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins of modern American history, the 1996 D. Lincoln penny. This ordinary-looking little copper-plated zinc coin might just be a fortune waiting to be discovered in your change jar. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare examples of this penny have sold for incredible amounts of money, with one reaching an astonishing $898,956 in the collector's market. So sit tight and let's uncover every secret about the Liberty 1996 D. Lincoln penny that could turn your humble 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Let's begin with the story behind it. The Lincoln penny, first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has become one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin proudly features the portrait of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, along with the word Liberty and the year of mintage, in this case, 1996, accompanied by the mint mark D for the Denver Mint. The reverse side displays the classic Lincoln Memorial design by Frank Gasparo, a design that remained on the penny until 2008. The 1996 D penny was struck during a time when billions of coins were produced, yet only a handful stand out as special, and those few can be worth a life-changing amount of money. In 1996, the Denver Mint produced an estimated 6.5 billion Lincoln pennies, making it one of the most common issues of the decade. Most of these coins entered everyday circulation, buying candies, paying for parking meters, and being tossed into jars and drawers across America. But as every serious coin collector knows, even among billions, there can be rare variations, minting errors, and exceptional conditions that make certain coins unbelievably valuable. That's exactly what happened with the 1996 D penny. The typical 1996 D. Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing about 2.5 grams. But among the billions struck, a few coins have been discovered with extraordinary characteristics: double dies, off-center strikes, missing mint marks, or exceptionally sharp, flawless surfaces graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC as MS69 or MS70. When a coin achieves this level of perfection, it becomes a collector's jewel, something that can command astonishing prices at auctions. Now let's talk about what makes the 1996 D. Lincoln penny so desirable. The key factors that drive its price are condition, rarity, minting errors, and demand. Coins that remain untouched, showing their original luster and no wear, are called mint state coins, and they're the most valuable. Imagine a coin that's been sitting untouched since 1996, preserved perfectly, with not a single scratch or smudge. That's the kind of coin collectors fight over. There have been instances where an ultra-high-grade 1996 D penny sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and some rare error varieties reached jaw-dropping prices in major coin auctions. One of the most famous cases involved a 1996 D penny with a double die obverse and near-perfect surfaces graded by PCGS at MS70. It shocked the numismatic world when it reportedly fetched close to $898,956. Now, that's not an ordinary penny, that's a piece of history, a rare masterpiece of minting precision. Let's also discuss the historical and collector background. The mid-1990s were a fascinating period in U.S. coinage. The U.S. Mint was transitioning its technology, introducing more advanced die-making methods, yet occasional errors still slipped through, creating the exact kind of anomalies that collectors treasure today. In the case of the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, coins struck with slightly misaligned dies, repunched mint marks, or unusual metallic tones have become hot targets for serious numismatists. Many of these coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. When examining your own 1996 D pennies, start by checking for a double die. Look closely at Lincoln's eyes, nose, or the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters appear doubled or have a shadow effect, you might have a valuable error coin. Also, inspect the mint mark D. A repunched or misplaced D could significantly increase the value. Another rare error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing or shifted. Depending on how off-center it is, these can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another key to identifying a valuable penny is its color and shine. Red-toned, glossy, uncirculated 1996 D pennies, known as RD designation coins, often command higher premiums compared to RB, red-brown, or BN, brown, varieties. A pure red, high-grade example in MS69 or MS70 condition is almost a miracle, but they do exist, and collectors pay handsomely for them. Now let's talk current market values. As of today's market, a regular circulated 1996 D Lincoln penny is still worth its face value, just 1 cent. However, the moment you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition or with a special mint error, that value jumps significantly. Here's a general guide based on current collector prices and market trends: $1,000 to $5,000 MS69, MS70 with unique strike or error, potentially up to $898,956 at auction. Yes, the right coin, in the right condition, can truly be worth that much. That's the magic of coin collecting: history, art, rarity, and luck all combined into one tiny piece of metal. Now imagine the thrill, checking your pocket change, your piggy bank, or that jar of old coins passed down from your grandparents, and suddenly spotting a 1996 D penny that looks unusually shiny or slightly different. That could be your lucky find, a coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it happens more often than you'd think. Many collectors started with simple curiosity. They found a rare penny, did their research, and realized they were holding a hidden treasure. What's even more fascinating is that the Lincoln Penny series continues to inspire collectors young and old. Every year, new discoveries are made: minor errors, unusual toning, rare strike patterns, all adding to the mystery and excitement of this beloved coin. The 1996 D Lincoln Penny is one of those modern classics that reminds us, never underestimate the value of a simple coin. So next time you come across a 1996 D Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Use a magnifying glass, inspect every detail, and compare it with certified examples online. You never know, your penny might just be the next one to make headlines in the numismatic world. Before we wrap up, remember that knowledge is power in coin collecting. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting those hidden gems. And that's exactly why this channel, RF Coins, exists: to educate, inspire, and help you discover the incredible stories behind US coins that could be worth a fortune. So if you love coins, if you love history, and if you dream of finding treasure in your change, make sure to subscribe to RF Coins and hit that like button to support the channel. Share this video with your friends and family. Who knows, maybe they're sitting on a valuable 1996 D penny right now without realizing it. Keep your eyes open, keep collecting, and keep believing, because the next big discovery could be in your hands. Thank you for watching RF Coins, where every coin tells a story and every story could change your life. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next penny be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into a modern treasure that most people overlook: the 2013 Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that many of us still have in our pockets or piggy banks could actually be worth thousands, or even close to $898,955 under the right circumstances. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors are going crazy for the 2013 Lincoln penny, how to spot the valuable ones, and what makes this ordinary-looking coin a hidden goldmine. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, has become one of the most collected coins in American history. It replaced the Indian head cent and featured the image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Over the decades, the penny has gone through several design and composition changes, but the purpose has remained the same: to honor one of America's greatest presidents. The year 2013 may seem recent, but even modern pennies can have errors, varieties, and special conditions that send their value skyrocketing in the collector's market. Now, what makes the 2013 Lincoln penny so fascinating? At first glance, it looks just like any other penny: featuring the familiar portrait of Lincoln on the obverse with the word Liberty on the left, the date 2013, and the motto "In God We Trust." On the reverse side, it shows the Union Shield design, introduced in 2010, which represents President Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one nation. The shield design includes a banner that reads 1 cent and a small inscription at the top reading E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. However, hidden among the millions of pennies struck in 2013, there are a few rare varieties that can be worth a fortune. Certain mint errors and special conditions make some 2013 pennies stand out dramatically. For example, coins struck with double dies, off-center errors, or planchet errors can command extremely high prices. Some pennies from 2013 have been discovered with die cracks, die chips, or even missing elements of the design, and collectors pay top dollar for these mistakes because they are unique. Let's talk about the metal composition. The 2013 Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, which gives it that familiar reddish appearance. This composition has been used since 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched from the older solid bronze composition due to rising metal costs. But here's the thing, even though these modern pennies are not made of precious metal, their numismatic value, that is, their collector's value, can far exceed their face value if the condition, rarity, and error are right. Now, let's get into the current market. According to recent collector auctions and price guides, the 2013 Lincoln penny can range in value from a few cents for a circulated coin to hundreds or even thousands of dollars for coins in pristine condition or with rare mint errors. And here's where things get jaw-dropping. Some of the rarest and most unusual 2013 pennies have sold for unbelievable prices, reaching up to $898,955 in private sales and auction listings, depending on grade and rarity. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny approaching the $1 million mark, but how does that happen? Why would someone pay such an astronomical amount for a penny that's barely 10 years old? The answer lies in rarity and condition. Professional coin grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, evaluate coins based on their grade, which ranges from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS70. A 2013 Lincoln penny graded MS68 or higher is incredibly rare and can bring in huge offers from collectors who want only the finest examples in existence. There are also special 2013 pennies with proof-like finishes, struck for collectors by the U.S. Mint. These coins often have mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Proof 2013's Lincoln cents, especially those with flawless condition, are also gaining strong demand. Combine that with any error, like doubling in the lettering, a die clash, or a misaligned die, and you have the recipe for a coin that could easily sell for thousands or more. Let's talk about error varieties that can turn an ordinary 2013 penny into a jackpot. Some collectors have reported double die obverse coins where the date or the word Liberty appears doubled. Others have found die cracks around Lincoln's face or the rim of the coin, sometimes giving the illusion of an extra feature. A few 2013 D pennies, minted in Denver, have been spotted with off-center strikes, where the design is shifted, exposing a blank area. These errors are rare and can boost the value dramatically. Another thing that affects value is eye appeal. Coins that have strong luster, sharp detail, and no visible marks are far more desirable. Even slight toning, where the coin develops a colorful hue over time, can make it stand out to collectors. That's why it's crucial to handle coins carefully and avoid cleaning them. A cleaned coin loses much of its collector value. If you're wondering how to tell whether your 2013 penny is valuable, here's what you should do. First, grab a magnifying glass and inspect the coin under bright light. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" for any signs of doubling or unusual markings. Check Lincoln's jacket and the edges for cracks or chips. Then flip it over and inspect the Union Shield. Look at the banner, the lines, and the rim for any irregularities. If you find anything unusual, it might be worth sending the coin to a grading service for professional evaluation. Now let's talk about the current collector market in 2025. Demand for Lincoln pennies has exploded over the last few years, especially for modern coins that show unique minting errors or are in flawless condition. Online platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have featured numerous 2013 pennies selling for incredible amounts. For example, a 2013 D Lincoln cent graded MS-68RD recently sold for hundreds of dollars, while unique error varieties have reached tens of thousands. In private sales, collectors have been known to pay massive amounts for exceptional specimens, leading to that legendary near $898,955 valuation figure that's been circulating among rare coin enthusiasts. It's important to remember that not every 2013 penny will make you rich. Millions were minted, and most are worth only their face value. But the hunt for that one rare piece, that one error coin, is what makes coin collecting exciting. Every coin has a story, and every collector dreams of finding that hidden gem in their pocket change. So, before you spend your pennies, take a moment to look closely. That 2013 Lincoln penny sitting in your jar or wallet could be more than just a cent. It could be a piece of history, a collector's dream, and a potential fortune waiting to be discovered. Always check for mint marks like D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, and remember that high-grade examples with sharp details and brilliant red color, known as red in coin grading terms, are the most valuable. Coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about history, art, and the thrill of discovery. The 2013 Lincoln penny tells a story of American craftsmanship and continuity, carrying forward the legacy of the Lincoln cent into the modern age. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, always keep your eyes open, because treasures often come in the smallest forms. If you enjoyed learning about the 2013 Lincoln penny and its surprising value, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to RF Coins for more fascinating stories about rare US coins, their hidden secrets, and real market updates. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload, because the next coin we talk about could be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting to change your life. Thank you for watching RF Coins, where we uncover the truth about America's rarest coins, one penny at a time. Stay curious, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story, and some are worth far more. Today, we're diving deep into a modern treasure that most people overlook, the 2013 Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that many of us still have in our pockets or piggy banks could actually be worth thousands, or even close to $898,955 under the right